He's quite famous in the West for playing Vladimir. He's hit Challenger multiple times, and he also owns a team. And he's in Korea right now, right? So he's playing Jace into...
Espera um minutinho. Posso esperar. Ah, quando liga a live toma age, né? Mano, o meu OBS tá travando, velho. Todo dia ele trava uma vez, pelo menos. Eu não sei porquê. O Silva é só pegar subscribe? Acho que não, mano. Ele tá engajado, tá ajudando o país, mano. Fazendo review, ajudando o player. Ele não tá pegando seu engajamento, não. Ele tá retribuindo, velho. Não é internet, não, velho. É o OBS. Podemos assistir o vídeo dele, então? Eu não gosto de todas as transições e com o tempo ficou horrível, mano. Reinstalar limpando o cache depois preciso. Preciso formatar meu PC, velho. O PC tá zoado. Eu vou tentar fazer isso, Grits. Valeu. Caiu de novo? Não, caiu de novo não. Vocês estão trolando, cara. Bora!
The VOD that I'm going to be watching is he played against a Vladimir, one trick. So this is Elite 500, guys. If you guys don't know who Elite 500 is, I'll just pull it up for you. So Elite 500 is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber.
Tá no máximo.
He's quite famous in the West for playing Vladimir. He's hit Challenger multiple times, and he also owns a team. And he's in Korea right now, right? So he's playing Jace into Vlad. Basically, the matchup is that Jace outranges Vlad, and Vlad doesn't do well against champs that outrange him. So for example, champions like Orianna, champions like Jace in mid late game is not too great for him because he can't all in them and dive their backline. But Vladimir has a lot of options this game. So he does have kill threat on Jace if Jace mispositions or fights incorrectly. And he also has the option to dive these range champions, these like short range champions, right?
Não.
Inside the lane, primarily...
Não é react do react, mano. Ele fez um vídeo analisando o Tim. Eu tô fazendo react do vídeo dele, entendeu?
Looking at is Vlad will be pushed in. Jace can trade HP for push, and Vlad is mostly sustaining through the lane. You're going to look at a QEQ evolve, like QEQ upgrade for Jace side, because you're mostly looking to take your 2 points in Q. You won't need your W. I think auto attacking is kind of bad, and he's gone for the Doran Blade option. It's fine. I wouldn't prefer it over longsword refill because I think that you should aim for serrated as much as possible. And just get early damage. Doran is fine if you want to completely obliterate lane and you want to make the lane super volatile, right? But it's not ideal. I prefer getting the longsword so my serrated Dirk is out faster where I hit my spike and my QE start to hurt a lot.
Gosto desse argumento dele pra começar de espada, mano. Early games não vai ganhar do Vlad mesmo de qualquer jeito.
So...
Não tem mana pra isso.
So we see this level 1 thing happen. Nice little first blood for Elise. And Jace is second to the lane. Vladimir mostly wants to keep the wave to his side because he's scaling in this matchup. Where Vladimir becomes starts to get scary is with like Ghost Protobelt and ulti. Right? But as the AD champion side, generally speaking, itemization is important and understanding your trade patterns with Jace is super important too. I think phase rush is fine. You don't really need conk because you're not sitting there and fighting him. And nice little trade window. So the way that you need to think about this is it's like a really easy version of like Jace vs Orianna because Orianna has a lot more damage. Whereas if Jace takes like... Jace in that matchup needs to take D-Shield. Here he can actually take D-Blade. Where you can short trade and run away with phase rush. Effectively. And because of all of Vladimir's abilities requiring HP, you can make him lethal and eventually bully him out of lane. So Vlad ideally wants the wave to his side and maintain CS. Nice, he goes for the correct skill order. So, when you play Jace Ezreal, when you play Jace Vladimir, you don't want to play into Vladimir E, because Vladimir can W your Q, and then press E and win the trade. So, here, you just play on range. He's already lost push. Ideally, you want push in this matchup and just non-stop auto attack. But maybe it's because of jungle. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe it's because he can't base early because he went Doran Blade. Who knows, right? But for example, this kind of trade is no good from level 3 onwards. Level 1, you can do this. Level 2, you can do this. But if you do this at level 3 where he has all 3 spells with empowered Q, you will lose the trade. And if you trade HP into Vladimir, this is not good. It's only good if you can have push and maintain him on low HP and set him on lethal and maybe like he's scared of Elise or something, you know? So you kind of see him there take a bad trade. And generally speaking, you want to be just using QE as Jace. He just really doesn't understand his skill combos. When I saw TINOWNS play mages, he looked really comfortable and he understood the trade windows. Let's just compare and contrast to how like Jace versus LeBlanc looks like in another lane, right? So this is Faker playing Jace. I believe this is in Challenger. And immediately, as you can see, he's trying to contest the push and he's playing on range. He's not giving the Vladimir free Qs, right? Of course, I once again don't agree with this item start. I don't think you need the 80 HP. I think you can just buy double refill and it's always better. And he opts to also swap into hammer form when Vlad gives him space to maintain his mana. So notice how he's like contesting push heavily. He's not actually pulling the wave. And on second wave, he's in a position to trade a lot more aggressively. So the thing with Jace, guys, is you don't want to use QE at level 1. Because the way that Jace versus Vladimir works is if you look at Jace, the base... So, okay, wait. I need to explain how Jace works. Basically, the way that Jace E works in cannon form is that Jace EQ increases the Q damage by 40%. Or QE, right? But the first level 1 Jace Q is only 55 AD. So if you QE, you only do 77 AD damage, which is 22 more damage for a combined mana cost of 55 plus 50. So for 105 mana, you do basically an auto attack and a half. So at level 1, you don't want to use your Q like this. And this is also why you take 2 points in Q always. So see how you see double the damage, literally double the damage, 55 additional damage plus, because it's 40% extra damage, it ends up being 44 extra damage. From level 3, when you have 2 points in Q and 1 point in E, you want to start using your QE combo. So that's essentially how you want to play the matchup and just like maintain push and just...
porque essa é uma lane basicamente em que o Vlad vai tentar trocar vida por mana do Jace. Quando o Jace tá sem mana, que não, tipo, ele não consegue dar a rotação de skill inteira pra matar o Vlad, ele fica tranquilo na lane e daí ele dá outro sustain. Então isso que ele falou é muito interessante pra jogar essa lane, porque tu usa o Q, assim, tu deixa a tua mana mais efetiva pra usar o Q, entendeu? Eu vou dar um exemplo pra vocês que eu fazia muito. Por exemplo, tu tá de Azir. Tu tá level 3. Tu pegou as 3 skills, certo? É que agora o Azir upou o W, mas só vocês entenderem o... Vou dar outro exemplo então, o Xerath. Digamos que tu tá de Xerath nível 3. Tu upou as 3 skills. E aí tu tá tipo quase level 4. O que vale mais a pena pra ti? Usar o Q no nível 3, quase 4, pra pocar o cara? Ou esperar o nível 4 pra usar o Q, sendo que tu vai dar tipo muito mais dano. E a tua mana vai ser mais eficiente, entendeu? Tu vai dar mais dano por mana perdida. Então, tipo, esses negócios de quanta mana tu vai dar pro dano... Quanto mana tu vai gastar pro dano que tu vai dar, é algo, tipo, essencial na mid lane. Às vezes tu não usa uma skill agora pra esperar upar pra usar outra skill, pra usar essa skill upada pra dar mais dano. Pra, tipo, tua relação mana-dano ser melhor. Então, tipo, a mid lane é muito sobre controlar a mana e saber a hora de usar a mana e a hora de não usar a mana.
Play around your QE at level 3. At level 2, it's more so queuing without the E, playing around range, playing on range and making sure you have push. So you want to push, you want to play on range, and you don't want to use your E, right? So this is what happens, and then you'll see from level 3, he will start to use his QE. He should. I just pulled up a random VOD, by the way. I didn't plan this. So here he starts to trade, right? See? But look at the way that, like, TINOWNS played this lane, right? He just doesn't know how to play this lane. Like, Level 1, he concedes prior. He should be auto-attacking, by the way. He should be spamming auto-attacks, because he's late to lane. He's not auto-attacking, he's just last hitting.
Pô, é que os minions tão low, né, velho?
Misses first Q. He should not throw Q like this, he doesn't need to.
É, o Q, no caso, tu segura nessa lane pra, tipo assim, uma hora o Vlad vai querer dar o Q, discutir, ele vai andar pra frente. Quando ele começar a andar pra frente, dá o quê? Vai ser um Q fácil de acertar, entendeu? E se tu conseguir usar o Q nele na wave, melhor. Tu dá dano nos dois e, tipo, o teu Q tem mais eficiência.
Trade was fine. But mostly just like last hitting, and then elite 500 gets level 2 first, right? Or same time, which should never happen. And then he just the wave is in the middle. It just looks completely different, right? And then at level 3, this is when he should play on QE combo, right? But he uses QE at level 2. You see this? This is illegal. Do you see this? Here's a real elite. This is no good Jace player in the world does this. No good Jace player is using 100 mana to do 70 damage. No one. So now he has mana problems, right? So now what happens is at level 3...
Eu sei disso porque eu joguei uma partida de Jace recentemente e eu cometi o mesmo erro, mano. Eu aprendi na hora, velho. Não dá pra usar muita skill de Jace early game.
Level 3 catches the wave, and then he trades into a Vlad with W, and Vlad W cancels Jace Q. So the way that... Yeah, I mean, I think no one really knows how to play this champion CBLOL, but basically the way that you have to play is you need to push. So Vladimir is answering wave and he can't trade back. You need to poke him with QE at level 3 and build the wave. Does that make sense, guys? Am I making sense? Everything I'm saying? Then he just randomly gets fucked. And then he loses push. So now, if Vlad trades HP even to Jace, who's happy? Vlad, right? Because all Vlad needs to do is just sustain for free with Q. And Jace is now going to have mana problems, has to burn Cookie early. And now he's going to look to catch this next wave and base on cannon. Whereas what should happen is Jace should base for free and Vladimir should be catching on the tower, right? But what I'm saying is the first 4 waves, the fundamentals behind this champion look so different from when TINOWNS plays it. And now it's just going to be a passive matchup where he's catching wave under tower against the Jace. Against the Vladimir. And then he will opt to push this next wave because he has TP advantage, right? So now look at his buy, guys. He's going to literally buy tier longsword. He does 0 damage. 0 damage. 0. If you start longsword, the reason you start longsword, guys,
mano,
is just math.
Tu não precisa pegar, tipo, a gota tão cedo no Jace, mano. Tu consegue delayar ela um pouco, tá ligado? Então, tipo, tu pega o dano primeiro pra ganhar lane e depois tu pega a gota. Eu fui jogar de Jace, peguei a gota cedo, me fudi. Eu não dava dano.
Jace side?
O problema foi a Dora? Então, a Dora complicou. A Dora obriga ele a pegar a gota, porque, tipo, ele não vai ter o spike da serrilhada, entendeu? E ele jogou a lane mal, não conseguiu dar B na hora que ele queria. Essas coisas vão adicionando, rapaziada. Essa é diferente entre um player muito bom e um player bom, entendeu? Essas pequenas vantagens. Ah, agora, mano, ele deu um B de gota e longsword. Tipo, ele não consegue pressionar o Vlad. Se ele tivesse feito, por exemplo, o que o Sil falou e desse o B de punho, ele voltaria na lane e bateria no Vlad, entendeu? E tudo isso faria diferença no mapa, entendeu? Porque agora ele tem pressão em cima do Vlad, o jungle dele tem vantagem, etc.
Has push, and in most cases, will have control of lane. Vlad is catching, such sustaining, and looking for all-in.
Até então eu concordo com tudo que ele falou, mano.
Angles by dodging Jace Hammer Q with Vlad W. Jace, to win this matchup, needs to refuse to go hammer form and use QE combo from range with cannon form. So lethality is really important. Mana management and tier is really important. If you start Doran Blade, 1 potion, Vlad in most cases has Ghost. So you can TP defensively if you make a mistake anyway. If you start Longsword refill, which is 350 gold plus 150 gold, you get Serrated Dirk, which is 1100 gold, at 750 gold. So for tier plus Dirk, you need 1150 gold. It's just the matchup. If you feel like the argument for Doran is that you have 80 base HP plus Omnivamp, and if you can't base on 1150, then you should buy Doran. No, he can base on like second or 2.5. Truth is, I'm not 110% sure of the matchup in items. I'm 100% sure about push and trading patterns though. Okay? So like, for me, if you want Serrated Dog plus tier, you can buy it for 1150. If you want early tier plus longsword, which is about 750 gold.
Mano, tudo depende do
And
plano de
Dirk is
jogo.
an
Como tu quer jogar. Entendeu? Se tu começa de Dorans e Pote, vai botar muita pressão na lane. Consegue mais fácil o push, porque tu vai ter o Omnivamp e o HP. E tu vai estar melhor pros skirmish early game. Se tu começa de espada longa e refill, tu tá priorizando o teu B ser mais forte early game. Se tu conseguir 1100 de gold no primeiro B, lindo, perfeito. Se tu não conseguir, tu consegue voltar pelo menos spikeado, entendeu? Essa é a ideia por trás do buy que ele tá falando.
important. I guess you spike faster anyway. Doran is fine. But
Só que Dorans é muito bom ainda, né? É um item muito forte.
I really like refill potion, and I like early Dirk plus tier if possible. I think it's possible in lane since Vlad isn't a lane bully. My opinion. For 1150 gold, you need to base like I think wave 7, 8, which is level 5 between 4:30 and 5 minutes. That's kind of my thought process. But basically, TLDR for me, TINOWNS doesn't know the matchup / trade. Items are whatever, but he should have push. TINOWNS needs to learn to never use QE level 2. Yeah. That's just my opinion, guys. But as you can see, like, wave push is very standard. Anyway, first 3 waves for sure, bit of an issue. So here, he opts to... So Vladimir W cooldown is very high, okay? So Vladimir W is down here. Look. So what happened? Vladimir looks for a nice little trade angle here. Dodges the first Q, and I think this was a good trade. So the reason this trade was good by TINOWNS is that, look, pay attention. Look at Elite. Plays on range, beautiful. What does he do? What does he do? Chat.
Esse Q dele foi
What did
ruim
Vlad
antes
just
do
use?
Vlad gastar o Q2.
Empowered Q, right? So Vlad used empowered Q. So he knows the only trade that Vladimir can do is WE, which is fuck all damage. Because the Q, you max Q as Vlad, and Q is your main damage. So here he goes to trade. This forces Vladimir to WE. And this gives Jace a window to trade well, because W cooldown is super long. It's 25 seconds, look. So this kind of setup is how you need to play. I really liked what he did right now. And I think that this is actually a mistake on Vlad's part. Because once he uses empowered Q, the Vlad should actually just back off. And wait for his Q again. So that Jace can't do this. So it's really like a knowledge thing.
É o que eu falei, mano. Quando eu
Because from this
assisti,
position-
quando eu assisti o team de Jace, vocês lembram que a gente assistiu o team de Jace contra o Caps? O que foi que eu falei, mano? O Jin tem esse Jace, mas a lane phase dele ele tem que melhorar. Que é a mesma coisa. Depois do primeiro B, mano, ele tá jogando tranquilo de Jace. Mas antes do primeiro B, ele precisa dar uma, mano, ele precisa dar uma sistematizada no Jace dele, tá ligado? Mesma coisa do Vlad aqui que o seu pontuou. Não mudou. O início da lane ele não sabe jogar de Jace. Depois, mano, o Jace dele é suave. Dá pra jogar. Mas ele tem que dar uma estudada em como dar approach nessas matchups.
I'm really happy as Jace side. But important thing is to not overtrade. So here he wins the trade really hard, right? He takes too much minion aggro, look. So the moment he finds this trade, I want him to back off. Run this way. But he sits there and greets for the farm. Takes a bunch of minion damage.
Não, isso
The
aí
Elite
foi
KR
de-
sees
foi
this
bait.
opportunity, into the Ghosters, uses Empower Q, and equalizes the trade. So now at level 6, So TINOWNS did a really good thing, but then
E
now
ele
at level
fez merda
6,
depois.
now that he fucked up like this, Vladimir is the one that's going to have lethal. So after Vladimir uses W, Jace must trade, yes. Jace must trade. This is his best window to trade. The problem with trading with Vladimir W up is you can't land your hammer form Q. So you need to trade when Vlad has no Q to force out W and then trade again so that, because your cooldowns will be up earlier, okay? So yeah, you're seeing a lot of like issues here with his general trading pattern and understanding of the game. And this is the all-in window that I was talking about. Luckily, Elise covered him.
Acho que ele pulou porque ele
I
estava
mean, in
ali,
general,
mano.
I just
Não
think
foi
his
sorte,
melee
acho.
play is quite bad. Like his AD play has been quite bad so far. I think a lot of Europeans, like ERL mid laners, would be better at Jace than him, unfortunately. That's the honest truth. And I came here to actually compliment him because I think he's actually quite solid on mages, but... So I hope he doesn't take it too personally. Nothing that I'm saying here is meant to be personal at all. Yeah, I know.
Nossa, o que é
Nice
que
little
isso, meu?
roam on a good wave. This is fine. This is just general macro though. So for here on out, it's just all about your QE cooldown. You don't posture aggressively here. You just back off. Catch the wave. What is he doing? Good. Okay, he used Q, that's why. Here, he should trade. You see this? So Vlad Q's like 6 seconds, I believe.
Eu não sei se ele ia trocar, não.
Nice. Here, look. He should trade. He used Q. So force him to WE, put his W on cooldown, and back off and do it again. This is his window. This is how you need to play the matchup.
Tem
Ele
visão
just
do
backs
Diego,
off.
mano.
Yeah, I mean, you can also play on cannon form as well if you don't want to get all in. But now he fights on a worse angle with the wave pushed in. And through here, I think mostly Jace is starting to outrange and do a lot of damage, so... I think it's fine what he's doing. I think like his itemization is fine. It's just his game knowledge around his champion and stuff. Yeah, so okay, so Jace gets caught. I mean, this is just basic, so I don't need to skip. I mean, obviously he just knows, right? So he fell to the Blitzcrank roam. The replay is very laggy here. It's not very important. You're not going to learn much of it. So in general, that was TINOWNS' review for me. So that's it, I guess. That's it for TINOWNS.
Ok. Eu acho que, mano, o que ele falou foi bem consistente, velho. Foi bem consistente. Gostei do review, foi bom. Quem é ele? Ele é o Coach SEEL. Ele falou do early do Jace. Mano, eu joguei uma partida de Jace recentemente e eu senti isso, tá ligado? Obviamente eu não cheguei a teorizar, mas eu percebi que, mano, pra jogar Jace não dá pra gastar muita mana early game. E as suas janelas de troca tem que ser muito perfeitas, mano.